Where the hell have you been?
Hell. That's pretty risque, especially in a church.
Not why, please, not now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing to you.
Sure. Yeah, whatever, because clearly, you don't give a shit. You're not the one that lifts a finger. You're not the one that does a damn thing for anyone. Literally, all you do is sit around feeling sorry for yourself.
I didn't ask you for anything.
No. No, you didn't, but you sure expected it. We are in the middle of a quarantine, in a crisis, and every day, all day, I am looking after your baby, and do I get a thanks? No. No, of course not, because Wiley is throwing herself the biggest pity party. And maybe she's gonna snap out of it, but maybe she's not. And we're the ones that get to deal with it.
Oh, screw you, Melissa! Trust me, you are not gonna have to deal with me anymore.
Hey, Jennette, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Who's excited for Jennette to be here? I am.
I love your hair. You're welcome. That was louder than I had hoped.
The best. So tell us about this show, Between, and the premise of the whole concept.
The show is about a small town that's put into quarantine after a disease outbreak, and everybody left alive is under 22. So the young people have to figure out where the disease came from and how to just kind of live day in and day out.
Sheesh, I would not have lasted in this plague that's taking
I'd be dead because I'm 22. So.
Oh my God, that's so right.
Yeah.
How many of the actors and actresses on the show
Everyone.
would actually be playing teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So also, how did you get involved?
I was on vacation at Disney World, and I got a call that Netflix wanted to meet with me about a potential project, so I got on a plane home the next day and met with them.
So on the show, you play Wiley,
Yeah.
who's a pregnant teen.
Yes.
But as we've seen in the clip, you've given birth. So tell
Yes.
me about that. That's kind of it's a departure for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a departure. Wiley's a very bad mother, very irresponsible and reckless. Working with a baby on set was kind of difficult because, the baby was great, but just, I guess having that kind of responsibility and knowing that there was a baby around is a certain amount of you're a little bit tense naturally.
How did you prepare for the role as playing a mother who's not very interested in her child?
Yeah.
In this crazy situation that's happening on the show.
I guess I really connected with the character because she's like rebellious and rough and kind of seems hardened, but is actually just, really sensitive. And I think some things that I was going through in my life at the time, I really mimicked, or Wiley really mimicked me. So I felt like I could kind of bring something to the character.
And on the show, you're the minister's daughter, and
Yeah.
you have a sister. You guys kind of have, as we saw in the clip, a little bit of a controversy between you, or just a feud going on. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship?
Yeah, it's, I'd say it's like a tumultuous sisterly relationship, though I got along really great with the girl who played Melissa. Her name's Brooke. We both had a lot of fun in between scenes, and she was a riot and very funny. But my character was raised, she's, obviously, as you said, the pregnant daughter of a minister, and she was raised very strict and very religious, and she's maybe not sure if she agrees with some of what her family's beliefs are, and she's trying to come into her own and doesn't really know what her own is, so she's just very hormonal and very moody. I think that causes a lot of the tiffs with her sister, and her sister's moody as well, but doesn't necessarily recognize it.
Yeah, and there seems to be some sort of mystery behind your whole backstory, behind Wiley's whole backstory. Can you shed a little bit of light on any of the stuff that's going to happen this season?
I can say, so the episode that airs on Thursday, it's our 4th episode, and I hope that we learn a little bit about Wiley's more likable side. I feel like she just wants to fit in, and she doesn't feel like she fits in anywhere. So what we see is her kind of just like brazen attitude, and her roughness is just coming from her really being clueless and just wanting somebody to give her a hug sometimes,
The show is very dark, and it's much
Yeah.
darker than anything you've done before. It kind of
Yeah.
has this Walking Dead vibe, but with a plague instead of zombies.
Cool.
So tell me about kind of jumping into a darker show instead of, iCarly or Sam and Cat.
Yeah, once I wrapped up Sam and Cat, it wasn't so much, I didn't have like a conscious decision to like, oh, I want to do drama or I want to do something darker. It was more that I just really wanted to do a project that I was excited about for one reason or another. I felt like I'd been doing the same thing, playing Sam on Nickelodeon for so long. So the thing that got me excited about this project was Netflix being associated. I'm a huge fan of Netflix. I don't have like regular TV. So I guess the opportunity to work with them was the thing that made me just kind of like jump on board.
It's different. This Netflix show is not one you can binge watch, sadly. I was upset about that.
Yeah.
But every week is a new episode.
Yes.
So tell me about that. And do you think people will wait around for the next episode, or are you a binge watcher yourself?
I certainly hope so. I am a binge watcher. I recently watched all of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I watched all of The West Wing, Lost, all of them binge style, and House of Cards. But this was like a dual production. So Netflix wanted the show for their streaming service, and then City TV in Canada produced the show. So in order for Netflix to not have to wait until all the episodes aired in City and then release them all at once, they thought, well, we want to give the show to the viewers ASAP, so we'll release them week to week.
I think it's great. I think Netflix is definitely battling the other networks when it comes to TV, and this is just another step in that direction.
Definitely. I feel like online streaming is where the whole consumption of entertainment is going. Like, I don't really think there will, I don't know. I just feel like streaming it's all that I have, it's all that most of my friends have, and appointment television is kind of, nobody's got really time for appointments nowadays,
And so I know you told me when we were watching that scene that you have a little bit of a backstory. Tell me some fun moments from set being on this kind of weird, dark show.
Well, in that scene that you saw, so there was a baby that was that would participate in several takes of the scenes, and then sometimes they would swap out the baby for a fake baby, just so they could get the dialogue clean and they wouldn't have any cries over it or anything. So I did the whole scene, and I picked up the little baby carrier, and like ran through the doors, and the carrier slammed into the doors, and I was thinking that I was holding the fake baby, and then all of a sudden I heard this like, and it was the real baby. Hopefully no brain damage.
And dark, that none the least. But so tell me about making the jump from such a big network like Nickelodeon to Netflix and what it means for you to kind of step away from that whole child star thing.
I think there's a lot of emphasis placed on the transition from like child actor to, adult career, and maybe some unspoken pressure or some unspoken discussion of like, what's the person going to do next? And, this indicates whether they've grown up or not. But I think, I really feel like a lot of the growing up has to happen internally, and, career choices have to be kind of a separate thing from your life, and you have to let your life determine where your career is going instead of the other way around. So I guess hopefully I just hope that I'm growing up, and then that my career choices will underline that.
Is there any kind of project you're dying to do?
I would love to go back into comedy, and I'd love to someday like show run a show. Like Amy Schumer, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Mindy Kaling. I love all of them. I think they're very smart, funny women with important things to say.
I feel like you'd be great in a comedy with Amy Poehler and
Oh my God.
Amy Schumer. That would be amazing. Would you
would
ever
love
go
to.
to the big screen and take it to like a movie?
I would. I'm not as passionate about film as I am about television. I feel like I was raised on like TV Land reruns and sitcoms from the 70s. So I certainly have a special place in my heart for television, and even just the way that the jokes work and the timing of the editing and things. But I would certainly be open to movies.
When you look back on iCarly, what kind of memories do you have from set, and are you still in touch with the cast?
I am. Miranda, who played Carly, is my best friend, and we hang out 4 times a week. We have sleepovers. She's the best. Yeah, one time recently we had a sleepover and we both got scared because we heard a noise. So we called the police, and like a fleet of SWAT guys came into her house while we were playing Clue and drinking orange juice. The most like harmless thing for girls to be doing. And they're like, wild night, huh, girls? It was fun.
That's so great that you guys are still in touch.
Yeah, it's great. And then actually the entire cast got together like maybe a month and a half back to get like sushi, and I go on hikes with Miranda and then Jerry, who played her older brother, like every couple weeks. Yeah.
And iCarly, of course, still airs on certain networks, and you have a huge following. What's that like for you on Twitter and social media, and what kind of vibes are you trying to give out there?
I really feel like working in kids TV can be a great platform to like build an audience and connect with people. As long as you don't get caught up in it, which I think is an easy thing to do. I like to use my social media platforms, Twitter and Vine and Facebook, as a way to, I guess, communicate directly with the people who support me as opposed to maybe supporting my character, and kind of open that dialogue as opposed to just the people who are like, know me as Sam.
And I know that you guys had a spin-off show, Sam and Cat.
Yeah.
Were you upset that it ended so early after one season, or were you happy the way that it happened?
Well, initially when Ariana and I signed on to the show, we were supposed to do 40 episodes, and we stopped at 36, so we pretty much got, right up to that finish line for the most part. I was personally ready for it to be done. I think at the time of my life, I was going through some, my mother had just passed away, and I was going through some like personal struggles that I think I needed to really process. And I had just thrown myself into work, and that kind of was not, I think, the way to operate my life at the time. So I was excited about getting an opportunity to have like a break from the business for a couple months. And
I know that you had a little bit of a music career as well, and that you like to sing. Are there any hopes for new albums or?
No. I actually started doing covers on YouTube during the writer's strike. Our second season of iCarly had shut down because of the writer's strike. So I was like, I'm bored, I want something to do. I started doing these covers. Somebody from Capitol Records saw the covers and wanted to fly me out to Nashville and have me sing country music. I don't know why that was chosen, that genre, but I
love country music, so that's like.
I like some country music too, but I guess it's just not natural to me. I felt like I had to like sing with a twang and like, felt sort of put on, I guess. But I lived in Nashville for a year and worked on country music, and it really wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. It could have maybe been the genre, but I think more than that, I like saying the things that I have to say through different channels as opposed to music.
That's great that you gave it a try.
Thanks.
And you gave Nashville a try. What's the difference between Nashville and Los Angeles? I'm sure there's.
Well, Nashville, the people who live in Nashville call it, I don't know if anybody's been there, they call it like Nash Vegas, and it's kind of like the glitziest city in the South, I guess. I was too young when I lived there to kind of find my way around any like the honky-tonk bars or see that scene, so I just became acquainted with a lot of breakfast places and also the Hampton Inn and Suites staff, because that's where I lived. Lots of free hot chocolate.
So I do want to open it up to you guys for some audience questions. So raise your hands if anyone has one.
Hi, I'm from Cambio. It's one of AOL's websites for millennial girls.
Oh.
And we would like to know what the biggest challenge was for you transitioning from a kids show to doing a more adult drama role.
The most challenging part of the transition?
Yeah.
I think not getting caught up in what other people want. Because like I was saying, I think there is so much importance placed on like showing that you've grown up, and I think it can be very easy to fall into that and try to prove, maybe based on the things that you wear, the things that you say, that you've grown up. But I think that growing up is again, something that happens inside, and you shouldn't have to prove it to anybody.
Anyone else? Question? Oh, in the back. Hey, Bill.
Hey. So you said that you're still in touch with the iCarly cast.
Yes.
So I wanted to know, have you guys ever talked about doing a reunion?
We had a group text going around like 2 weeks ago, just joking that we should all do a reality show where we all live together, because Miranda has a house, but she lives with her parents, and like her house is just unoccupied unless she and I are sleeping over there. So we thought it'd be funny if all of us just took up a bedroom and lived Cosgrove style. Maybe the show could be like
That'd be
Growing Up
great.
Cosgrove.
People would definitely watch that. I mean,
Right?
Because it's like I'm interested to see how you guys have grown up, and that the fact that you guys are still friends.
Yeah, I think each of us really kind of suit our characters. Like it was wild to me as we were sitting around having sushi together, because it's been 8 years since we first shot the show, and all of us are just so similar to our characters, I guess.
I guess when you're playing the same character every day
They rub
when you're
off.
younger,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, maybe I am not myself.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Questions? Don't be shy. Right here in the front.
Hi, what about live performance? Maybe Broadway one day, possibly?
I would love to do Broadway. I actually auditioned and got pretty far on Cinderella a couple months back, but apparently my singing voice was too manly. So have fun watching Cinderella with a feminine singer.
That's great. So you're saying that you don't want to do an album, but you would totally do Broadway. What's a show that maybe you would?
I was just talking in the car about Seussical the musical. I saw that.
Seussical.
Yeah, I saw that when I was like 12, and if that came back around, I don't know, I'd probably sign on board for that. I feel like anything where you just get to like maybe do a bit of dancing, and I think the thing that was so exciting to me about potentially being Cinderella, I got my heart attached to that part, and then when I didn't get it, I was like brokenhearted. But I think I wanted to like be a princess or something, because I always play these like tomboy characters. You can see I have like no makeup and like dark circles. I wanted to like have the ball gown, but didn't work out.
Yeah. Any questions? Oh, in the front.
This question is from Periscope, and they
I just watched your Periscope when I was in the other room.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It was wild.
Oh, thanks.
It was good.
They want to know what education background do you have, and what plans do you have if you want to further your education in any way, in any form.
So I was homeschooled. From preschool on, I never stepped foot in a public or private school. When I was 14, I was going to go to my local public school, and then I booked iCarly. So then, I had an on-set tutor for that. And then I wanted to go to college after finishing iCarly, and the opportunity for Sam and Cat came around, which I felt was the smarter life decision at the time. I did that, and then after Sam and Cat wrapped up, I kind of contemplated college again so much that I went to, visit the dean at UCLA and speak with him. But again, then I got between, and it just didn't feel like the right time. So I guess I really think I have this weird fixation on like a college education, and I feel like that's gonna like solve all my problems, or like I feel like I'll just like go to college and become a genius, which is not the case. But I hope that I can go someday. But I feel like by the time I get around to it, I'll be like 40, and no one will want me there, and a bunch of kids will be like throwing Hennessy at me.
It's never too late. It's never too late to go to school. Do you find that you're recognized, like walking down the street, or?
Yeah, all the time.
So do you think is that a reason why maybe school would be hard for you, or do you enjoy being recognized?
No, I enjoy being recognized. I think people are generally very nice about it and everything, but I would only think it would be challenging if people were like trying to sneak a picture from like a couple rows over.
But while you're in class as a
Yeah.
40-year-old?
Yeah.
Hey, remember her from iCarly?
40-year-old Sam! She's dumb! Okay.
So how many episodes of the show will air, and will there be a season 2?
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
How many episodes of the show will air this season, and will there be a season 2?
Oh, for Between, we did 6 episodes, and I don't know if there will be a season 2. I would certainly do more. I had a really fun time with the cast, and we shot up in Toronto, which was really pretty and kind of nice change of pace. So I don't know.
Can you tell us any spoilers of what's to come with this crazy plague that's happening in Pretty Lake?
Near-death experience for my character in the next episode on Thursday, and then we find out a big we find out the answer to a large question in the 6th episode.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm so terrible with spoilers because I don't even like.
Well, you can't. It's a hard
I
show
don't
because
remember
you
the
can't really
show
spoil
for the most
anything
part.
because
Yeah.
it's very mysterious. Anyway, thank you all for being here, and thank you, Jennette.
Thank you, guys.
We can't wait to see the rest of Between.
Thanks. Thank you.